Next
So
thing
you guys gonna send it out, Mayor. You gonna do a town hall meeting? That's what you just said, right? I'm just making sure I heard that right. Is that right?
It's in the minutes, trustee.
Okay, well, thank you. That's all I wanted. A town hall meeting. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hi you guys, welcome back. If you want to know why Tiffany Henyard has that smug look on her face, go ahead and stick around because we're picking back up from where I left off in my last video, and we're looking at a board meeting from the month of October dating back 4 years. And this board meeting actually took place 7 months before Tiffany was sworn in as mayor. And so during this board meeting and around this time, Tiffany really felt like she had it in the bag and she was really campaigning hard. So let's go ahead and continue to watch, and then I'll chime back in.
Two sets of corporate bills that I'm going to read in and I'll propose that we do the payment collectively. Corporate bills payments electronic register number 172 has corporate payments of $39,832.21. Melanie Fitness Center register payments of $16,977.34. Motion that we pay the bills collectively.
I have a question. Could somebody explain to me the Melanie Fitness Center, the dollar amount as in comparison to months prior, how it went from $1,492.98 for the September 8th registry to $16,977. It's something that I hadn't seen, and could somebody tell me what that jump? What's that about?
So what I found really interesting about this part of the meeting is that Trustee Denton, the one who just spoke up, actually brought a concern about the amount billed for Melanie Fitness Center. I say this because Trustee Denton has been known to just kind of sit there through the board meetings and then just cast her vote. She rarely ever spoke up and questioned things. In fact, Tiffany even called her out on this in one of the older board meetings when some of the members of the board wanted to remove Tiffany Henyard from the chair of the housing committee. I know, gee, I wonder why. Because we all know Tiffany is just a ball of joy to work with and a blessing to be around, right? Let's look at this clip where Tiffany mentions Trustee Denton and accuses her of just sitting there and just being pretty much a yes man. Let's watch.
I will hope that this board would reconsider this. I will hope that people just don't give their vote just to get along. Again, I stated for the record, if I did something, I understand why I'm being removed. I haven't done anything but spoke the truth. So if I can have your support, especially coming from Trustee Denton, I will respect that more than anything than just voting with the 4 just because it feels right. Thank you.
Mayor, may I be recognized?
Go ahead.
I just have to say this.
You the flip vote. No matter what you think. One thing I'm gonna tell you about this board. If it's for you guys, and it's one person that can make or break a team. Period. You don't have to always go with the team. Period. And that's all I'm trying to make sure I educate people that's new up here. And the two newbies are Trustee Den and Trustee House. But you gotta have your own voice. You can't just vote with them just because they sat and talk, set you down, and say, "I don't need your vote today." It gotta make sense. You have to live with that at the end of the day. I don't care if they like me or not. I'm still going to speak on what I need to speak on. Now, if I'm a roll with it, I'm a roll with it. If I'm not, I'm not. So that's all I asked of her. I call everybody up here. No one picks up my call. I call you, Trustee. I reached out because I said you should hear both sides. Don't just listen to one side. If they tell you something, it's like they brainwash you. They telling you something, and then you just roll with it, but you don't hear my side. So when I have something on the agenda, I'm talking about the agenda. I'm not talking like we finna be girlfriends, let's go out. I'm talking, okay, I got 4 items on the agenda. Can we sit down like ladies and discuss this? That's what I normally ask. But nobody wants to talk. That's bad. And I'm the youngest one on this board, and I'm sitting here reaching out to y'all. Stop it.
You guys, it's just unbearable to listen to her sometimes. So as we can see, even when she's trying to convince someone to vote for her, first of all, like as if, really, Tiffany, get over yourself. She can't contain her true nature, which is very rude, very disrespectful. She's telling people they're brainwashed. She's saying, "Oh, why don't you pick up the phone when I call you?" Because you act like this, maybe. And so she really expected Trustee Denton to change her mind and vote in favor of her after talking about her like this. She basically called her rubber stamp. She said she's brainwashed. It's just beyond me, the way she treats people sometimes and then expects something in return. That's why the Board of Trustees don't work with her either in Thornton Township and in Dolton. It's ridiculous. No one wants to work with her, and that's why things are crumbling. That's why Dolton is in a deficit. That's why Thornton Township is slowly falling apart, because she is the quote unquote leader in both of those places, meaning she is the common denominator. So obviously, you guys, Tiffany was not able to stay the chair of the housing committee. Surprise, surprise. Just no one wanted to deal with her. But getting back to this board meeting, and the reason why I think Trustee Denton is actually speaking up right now, because like I said, this was 7 months before Tiffany became mayor, meaning it's election time. And so people are looking to keep their positions. So Trustee Denton is probably trying to show her worth and being more assertive so she can be reelected into being a trustee. All right, that being said, let's get back to this board meeting.
$16,977.34.
Yeah, what?
Trustee House,
Or
you have the register in front of you?
I have the register. I see the line she's talking about. I think Chris is probably in the best position to outline which bills were paid on that one.
So, Trustee, the reason for the large jump, part of it, we had about $8,000 in ComEd for electricity for the fitness center, and then we had repairs to the steam room of about another $8,000.
that wasn't repairs. That was backdated invoices. There weren't no repairs done to it.
Okay, I'm like, but it's not open. Why are we repairing it? Okay, so that's back.
Backdated invoices.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
invoices
we've had
that
a
were
lot
just
of
provided to us
backdated
this month.
invoices that for some reason weren't submitted to us, that were just submitted recently.
So basically, Trustee Denton's question was a really good one. What the accountant said is that this was an old invoice that was never presented or something, never brought up, but then all of a sudden it magically appears, which is very weird, very shady, I think. But let's go ahead and get to the juicier part of this board meeting, because Tiffany Henyard brings a little bit of heat towards Trustee Ed Steves and the mayor because she is in disagreement with the way they are handling the Melanie Fitness Center. Let's watch.
Trustee Steve,
The other one, he's there. He answers phone calls. So he's just there 4 hours. He may be there, I think, 16 hours or 12 hours a week. He does with his cleaning and stuff like that. The only person that's over there on the regular is
Mr. Gray.
Mr. Gray, but Mr. Gray's only there 3 times a week, just checking the pool. But the detox cafe is open Monday through primarily Saturday, sometimes Saturday, Monday through Friday, from 7 to 3.
Yes.
So let me make sure I understood, Mayor. Y'all got an employee over there for 4 hours? Is that what you just said?
Yes.
What? For what?
There's still phone calls.
You said answer phones?
There's still phone calls. There's still cleaning that goes on over there. It's still stuff that people still come over there and ask questions. It's still a necessity to have somebody over. We can reduce his hours, but that's been going on since the beginning of COVID.
And it's important to have somebody, Trustee, it's also important to have somebody there to check on a regular basis to make sure nothing goes out, nothing happens where it will get to the extent where it will cause extensive damage.
Mayor, you just
constantly
said
got the water pumps.
Ken Gray is only here from 5 in the morning. He just comes early at 5 in the morning, maybe 2-3 hours just to check the pool, just to maintain the pool. That's before anybody gets there. So you still have a person to come there because the detox cafe is just women there. So sometimes the guy Mark Lloyd comes in and he helps out throughout the day. So it's good to have still a male presence there when you have women there working. But Ken Gray, he's there early in the morning, 5 something in the morning, and he's only there for a few hours. He's there before anybody gets there.
Okay, right. This is my concern. Just saying, from a business point of view, we are paying for something we're selling. We're no longer utilizing due to the fact of COVID. So I don't understand why we keep that expense of an employee. If you got phone calls coming, you forward to the village city hall. You don't keep an employee to answer a phone. It don't make sense to me. It's like wasting dollars. I'm just telling you from a business point of view, I wouldn't do it for my business. I would forward to my cell phone. I would keep an employee for it. So it doesn't make sense. And then a young lady, wait a minute, Mayor, hold on, let me finish. And then the young lady, she's renting space. So now you're telling me using the guy as security for the lady that's renting the space? She's renting the cafe. 2 different businesses. So I'm just trying to understand why we're spending taxpayer dollars for something that's closed and we're selling.
We still have
a big investment there. We have a big investment there. And we need to have somebody check it on a regular basis to make sure.
You got the guy. You said the pool guy, so he's the maintenance guy, correct? That's the maintenance guy, right?
The maintenance guy. All he does is tend to the pool. That's it.
Okay, and then you got Scott. Don't Scott go check on all our properties? Scott does all the maintenance in the village, right?
Trustee.
I'm just saying it doesn't make sense. We should plan differently for that. So I'm just saying that and I'm gonna leave it alone. We should plan differently for that.
So as we can see, she felt very passionate about the way that the mayor and trustee Ed Steve were handling the Melanie Fitness Center, because she feels like they should make other plans for it. Plans like, paying for a $50,000 police sign to put it on the building when you know it can't be a police station. Yes, that's what she did as mayor. So the Melanie Fitness Center never recovered from COVID, basically. But as mayor, Tiffany Henyard said she wanted to turn half of the Melanie Fitness Center into a police station and then the other half into a community center / free pool for the residents. Well, she went ahead and bought the sign for it, which costed over $45,000, mind you, without it ever being approved, without, just planning for it at all. So there's just an empty building there that looks like it's a police station, which I'm sure could be a liability to the village if people actually thought that that was a police station and there was something going on and they tried to run to that police station, which was mentioned in one of the board meetings by trustee Tammy Brown. But what does Tiffany do? She brushes it off, of course. She doesn't want to admit to anything, any mistakes, because that was a huge one amongst other things. And then people wonder why Dolton is in a deficit because of spending like that. But yeah, as we can see, the wheels in her heads were just turning round and round. She was getting very agitated because she already had plans of what she wanted to do, not only with Melanie Fitness Center, but a lot of other places in Dolton, such as those vacant properties. All right. That's a whole nother story. So let's go ahead and continue, because she is not done yet with the disrespect, okay, in this board meeting. It gets a little bit worse as we go on. So just for a little context before I get it started, they're talking about a land again that the mayor is trying to do something with, trying to sell it or lease it out. I'm not sure. But Tiffany is pressing the issue that the land has like a toxic issue with the soil, and so they need it tested or something like that. So let's go ahead and continue there.
Right, but Mayor, it's some issues there, and I'm stating that because I did talk to everybody along Cottage Grove there, and guess what they told me? Our people are going over there dumping on that site, meaning the village. This is what they told me.
They're not dumping over there anymore.
I'm just telling you. That's what they said. So
they can say anything. I know for a fact we're not dumping over there anymore.
They're not gonna make it up. They live there. So, Mayor, are you in agreement with having this in 2 weeks before the cow?
We can have it before the cow, but I'm saying the whole cow meeting cannot be specifically for that one item because there's going to be other items on the agenda.
We've done it before, but that's fine. It'll just be a longer meeting, but that's fine. But just as long as the residents are included, that's all I care about.
I just said we can hold it before our regular cow meeting, yes. But we still going to have other agenda items on the cow. So Mary Kay, make a note of that.
Yes, sir.
So it looks like Tiffany is just trying to start arguments with the mayor. And not just any arguments. She's trying to start arguments with the underlying motives of making the mayor look like he's not concerned for the residents or just the basic overall well-being of the village. She's insinuating that the mayor doesn't know that people are dumping on the property, and she's demanding that he hold a committee meeting or let them hold one to address the issue of the land. The mayor is saying one thing and she's saying another thing. She's saying that she door knocks and people are complaining that there's been a lot of dumping on the land. She's constantly making it known that she's out in the community and she knows better than the mayor what the residents want and what they're concerned about. So this is just another tactic she's using to get the residents on her side and to show them that, hey, I am capable of being the mayor because I care more than the current mayor. Unfortunately, Dolton fell for it, or at least the people who voted fell for all these little shenanigans she used to pull, because we know she was not sincere in her efforts to be mayor to help out the people. She only did it for self-serving purposes. All right, you guys, let's continue.
And can you pull the date that I'm talking about, Mary Kay, so the board can have it? Can you send them this?
Sure.
One second, Mayor.
October 19th. is the next scheduled committee of the whole meeting.
Okay.
Matt, are you there? I think Matt is there.
Superintendent,
I'm here. I'm having internet problems. Go ahead, Mayor.
are we dumping on 142nd Street in Cottage right now?
No, not at Cottage. We're dumping 142nd by the police station and in our yard.
Okay. Does that clarify it for you, trustee?
The people ain't got a lot of me. They said y'all dumping over there. They live there, not me. So I'm just putting it out there for the record.
I know for a fact we're not dumping there. And in fact, the closest residence to that on Cottage Grove is in the 142nd block, past, in adjacent to across from the post office and past the post office. So I don't see, in fact, how those residents that's located past the post office and the house is abandoned directly across from the post office can see, in fact, if somebody's dumping it, that our trucks are going there dumping, and they're not.
Let me tell you something about our residents.
And I'm telling you,
I got a
not.
neighborhood watch lady. Hold on my block.
Yes.
She see everything, everything.
Yeah. So
she
now
can tell you what you put on. I'm serious.
Okay,
so
that's fine.
People that really
now,
care, really,
where do you live?
I'm serious. When they retire, don't have nothing to do, they watch.
What block do you live on? What block do you live on?
I'm not telling you the block I live on, but what I'm trying to explain to you is that they're not going to make that up.
I know what block you live on, and the lady that lives on your block cannot possibly see 142nd and Cottage.
Mayor and trustee, if I may
on
interrupt, we are in the middle of citizens address, and there are citizens address comments that are yet to be addressed by.
Okay. Well, for the record, Mayor Kay, this is what I was trying to get out. December 5th of 2011. Can you get those minutes and give it to the entire board so y'all can all see what's going on with that property over there? It's in the minutes when Mayor Rodgers was a trustee and he voted on it. So it's all in the minutes.
Oh, noted.
What did I vote on?
Oh, you want to go over it? You want me to read it? You want me to go over it?
No, we are in citizens address, not trustee's address or mayor's address. So please, can we continue?
Thank you.
All right, the next.
Oh my gosh, she is so unbearable. Like, I understand, she's trying to debate and she's trying to make herself look good because she's running for mayor and whatnot. I don't see how people who looked at these board meetings would even vote for someone like this. The problem is they probably didn't look at these board meetings. And if they did, they looked at it like, oh, she's just standing up and she's just speaking out and she's just touching on the issues that really need to be talked about. No, she's just obnoxious. Okay. And she'll do and say anything to get, what she wants. And that is to be mayor. And she got it, unfortunately, because people were not paying attention to who she really was. Well, you guys, if you thought this interaction with her and the mayor was a bit crazy and that she was rude, let's go ahead and go to this next part, because it doesn't stop with the mayor. She pops a little attitude with trustee Ed Steve. Let's go ahead and watch.
Next question. Where was the Melanie Fitness listed and how much is it being sold for? Or is it also being leased?
It's not being leased and it's not being listed. We decided not to list it at this time because we have a buyer. If we list it, we have to pay the commission fees to that person who lists it. But we do have I do have a Dolton residence that is waiting in the queue if we decide to lease it to go with him. The last appraisal for Melanie Fitness was at, I think, $800,000 or $900,000.
It was $800,000. I want to just correct that. We don't have a buyer. We have a potential buyer. Potential interested buyer.
Mayor, who's doing the negotiations for that?
And their offer has been what, $500,000?
We haven't sat down with them with the offer yet.
Yeah. So the first offer we had, the last offer was $500,000. Yes.
Mayor, who's doing the negotiations for that? How do trustee Steves know all that, and no other board member knows any of this?
Well, I can tell you how I know about it because I'm the one kind of spearheading it. Whenever we have a concrete offer, then it will come to the board for sure. But people can throw out numbers all day. I don't want to come to the board and say, well, we got this. Once we have a concrete offer, like even the person that offered the $500,000, if they would have came with their financing, then it would have came to the board for a vote. But that's where we at. I don't want to come to.
But let me help you real quick.
Can I finish?
So on some legal stuff, and the mayor should help you and protect you in some type of way. Trustee Steves, we're not a real estate agent. You don't negotiate. You don't speak up upon the board because you are a vote. So that's how you get yourself in trouble. So I'm trying to help you. You normally give that to the village attorney or the administrator. So that's just some advice, okay? So if I was you, I would take myself out of that and give that to one of them and let them give it to the entire body. That way they can't say that you was in on whatever y'all talking about.
So first of all, I would think the child would have lost her mind talking to me like that, okay? That's how you get your little self in trouble. Who are you calling little self? Oh my goodness. See, it's things like this, you wonder why people just don't get along with her. And that's an understatement. Some people around her probably do really hate her because of the things like this, the way she talks to people and the way she treats people. I just can't believe she talked to a grown man like that. And look at her face as he's responding, because she knows what she's doing. She's trying to piss people off and she's trying to get a reaction from them. And she got a reaction from him. Let's watch.
That's for the record.
Again, with this, watch your little self. Can we keep this at a professional level and not like we speaking on the street somewhere? If it comes to the board, once we get to the point where we get a concrete offer, then it will come to the board, period. You know what I mean? I'm not making no.
This is professional.
Are you going to finish my point? My point is that when the first I sat down with the mayor and they discussed it, and then if we can, people can say anything, but once it gets to the point where paperwork's involved and this involved, I definitely got to get the attorney involved. But since I'm the committee chair over it, and I'm the one that's been foreseeing it, then I'm the one that's kind of out here. Oh man, we're selling it. But then if we get to the point where there's paperwork involved and there's lawyers involved, of course I'll step out of it. Period. Of course
You missing the point. That was just me trying to help you. You will get yourself in a lot of trouble. Don't negotiate anything.
I'm not negotiating.
You should just give it to the attorney. That's all I was trying to help you. But be quiet. Continue doing what you're doing. Go right ahead.
Thank you, Trustee. This is Citizens Address. Are there any more questions, Giovanni?
Yeah, Giovanni. Let's get back to Citizens Address because Tiffany is just a hot mess. Okay. And she is the last person to be talking about getting in legal trouble. That's all she does. As she said in one of her Thornton Township meetings, or actually it wasn't a meeting, it was one of her grandstands.
United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois, Pyro Nyson Jr., to you as both personal and in your role as mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you much for serving.
Exactly, appreciate it. I guess anything else? I get sued all the time. Y'all stop it.
That's not something to be proud of, Tiffany. As we can see, she doesn't care about getting sued, and she's getting sued left and right because she's doing people dirty left and right. But you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. And like I've said before, if you really enjoyed the content, please remember to leave this video a like. It'll really help it out. It'll help it get to a wider audience, help my channel grow, all that good stuff. So once again, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave it a like. And if you're new here, subscribe.
We're not saying we're against the budget. We're just saying be transparent with it. How we used to do it, how we should do it. You go through every line item to be transparent with taxpayers' money. That's all we're asking.
Just because you guys did it in the past, don't make it right.
So if this town is bankrupt in 6 months or 10 months, who's gonna get the blame? Us.
Thank you for your concern. So, as relates to us doing it the right way, I stand on transparency.
They're approving $500,000 and $500,000 without board approval.
You're trying to scare the public into, we got one night to go over this. If you guys wanted to have a committee meeting or any other type of meeting, you could have called me.
This administration got handed off a great financial town because the previous administration, with Trustee House, with myself, we went through the budget. We had financial audits.
But right now, you want to do things the way you've done it in the past. And unfortunately, everything you've done in the past was not right, Trustee Steves.
The reason why this town is in the financial condition it's in, because we took our time with the budget.